pitchfork, son of a bitch.
Not one of them has a freaking name on it. Every freaking spot they welded is all rusted. Yep, bullseye. I'm trying to see this, but at least I don't have to do this year. Next year this stuff will all be made. Here we go. Welcome to the Beaver Retriever channel. I'm going to bring you along, showing you a little bit of my lifestyle. And today we're going to check some nuisance beaver traps. Got a nuisance problem where they're plugging up the culvert. Water is coming in the road, starting to water the road out. So this company calls me up to come trap them out. Yep, all done at this flowage. Checked all 3 traps. Trap right there. There's a trap over the hill. There's another trap over here in a hole, kind of going through the dam. And all 3 of them are still set, so we are done with this job. So we're going to pull these traps and go clean out the culvert. Traps it off. Wrapped up. Yeah, now we're going to go clean out the culvert. They pay me to clean out the culverts when I'm done. See what we can do here. Shouldn't be too bad. I've cleaned this one out already this summer. Some of the stuff they get in there. Definitely some good engineers. But they're also cheap. They find the spots where we put a culvert in the road and plug it up right there so they don't have to build a big dam. We already built the dam, the road. Holy, how's my freaking pitchfork? Son of a bitch. Alright, so we're gonna twist this wire on here. Culvert right there. Going good now. Nice. Got something really just let loose now. Nice. Pretty well done. Now we're going to pull the dam that was down there. Move this log here too. Divert the water that way. There. So there's the culvert right there. It looks cleaned out to me. Alright, we're done. Today we're working on a pumpkin stand. I built this last week to sell my pumpkins at. I'm actually going to put the pumpkins all out front here and put some teas in there. I got some goldenrod tea and raspberry leaf tea and a few others. Chaga. So we're going to put in a rope today. I'm going to rope off a section here and keep them kind of corralled right into the pumpkins. Plus keep the deer out of my pumpkins. Freaking deer will come in and eat these pumpkins. This is a pretty popular deer crossing spot here on my property, so hopefully they don't come in and eat my pumpkins. So I'm going to be trying to sell birch poles here, so I'm actually going to use some birch poles to put my rope on. I'm going to try to give people the ideas that they'll see how nice that looks with birch. They'll want to buy some of mine. Yeah, so I'm going to even use some birch bark as my labels and write right on the birch bark and put it on a little birch post. That way it gives people the idea, and I'll be trying to sell that birch bark right here. So nice. Just got to give some people the idea. They can't think of it, so I'll give them the idea and they think of it and then they want to do it. So using this birch, hopefully that makes them buy my birch. Down to like 2.5 feet, 3 feet probably. No, probably 3 feet. Where's 3 feet? 3 feet is right there. Yeah, we're gonna cut them at 3 feet. That'll be just right. Yeah, I don't like these poles. They're too short, so we're gonna go out and gather another bunch. Got plenty of birch poles, so we'll get some more and we'll probably cut them about 4 feet. Yeah, 4 feet probably be good. I can still hammer them in. I'm gonna find some smaller poles so I can hammer them in easier. Yeah, so we're not only gonna just cut my posts here, we're gonna cut some other stuff to sell. We're gonna cut some more birch poles. One of the things I've sold a lot of over the years was forked birch poles. Any type of pole that had a fork in it. So them have been a pretty hot selling item over the years, so we're gonna cut some of them and some regular poles and cut myself half dozen stake poles there for my rope. Yeah, so I gotta clip these all by hand. Just gotta be easy with them. Don't want them all scratched up. So we're gonna get a bunch of these done. Just do a bunch today and a bunch next few days. Yeah, so here's a fork pole. I think they actually look pretty cool. So I think somebody would want to put these in with their corn stalks with their decoration this fall. There, I ended up getting quite a few birch poles, so that'll be pretty cool. I bet I'm the only pumpkin stand in the area selling birch poles at the pumpkin stand. Not many people do that around here, which I don't see why not. They're great decoration. The place I sell them to has an internet site and sells them across the country. Like places that don't have white birch, they scoff these things right up. But up here, they're like, what do you use them for? Well, come up with something. Get creative. Now we're gonna go offload them, maybe pound in a couple steaks and call it a day. Yeah, so I'm gonna put the birch pole somewhere over here. I think I'm gonna build like a fence with like a high rail. That way I can lean them up against the rail. There, I got 30 extra poles cut, so I'm probably gonna ask $5 a piece, which is actually underpriced. If you look them up online, they're way more than that. But that's almost what I get for wholesaling. So we're just gonna ask wholesale pricing. That way they move. These ones. This one. Yeah, got a rope going all the way around. All the way back to the shack. And the pumpkins will be here. We'll probably do regular pumpkins on this side and do any of my unique pumpkins on this side. Yeah, so I got pumpkins with bolts in them, like a Frankenstein head. Got 2 bolts up there, like little antennas. And I got a bunch with writing in them. I write like Happy Holidays, Happy Halloween. And what else I do? Oh, I put some zip ties around some to kind of make them look like snowmen, like 2-ball snowmen, 3-ball snowmen. We're gonna ask a little more for them, so we'll keep them off to one side. All right, so that's it for today. Tomorrow we'll be back down here. We're actually going to buy some hay tomorrow to put down here, be able to sell hay bales. Yeah, so we're back to working on the shack today. And today we're putting up a rail here. We actually already sunk that birch pole and this birch pole. We're going to put a rail up so I can lean all them birch poles we cut yesterday afternoon up along this, like all individually, so people can choose, oh, this one looks a little better than this one, not just a big pile of birch poles. Just like so. Yeah, that'll be a good rail to lean all these birch poles up against individually so they can pick which one they want. First product set up at the farm stand, the birch poles. So I think that come up pretty good. Got regular straight poles over here. These fork poles, which I think look pretty cool, don't they? And that'd be cool to add to your decoration, to your hay bale or your corn stalks. Throw in one of these birch poles and just gets being different. Yeah, so we'll try to get pumpkins out in the next few days. Trying to get everything else set up. Pumpkins will be the last thing to go here, and then we put up the freaking signs and start advertising. Yeah, so that's it for here today. Other than I'm gonna probably go get some hay this evening, and we'll stack a few hay bales. I'm gonna put 2 hay bales on either side inside of the farm stand, and then I'll keep the rest up somewhere else with a tarp on it or something. All right, so we just got my load of hay. I wanted to stop and show you the no-name cemetery. This is a cemetery right here. Has absolutely no names. So let's take a look at it. Not a one of them has a freaking name on it. Yeah, so all the names on this gravestones are on this side of the cemetery, since the road used to come down along out back there. Pretty cool. So it's pretty funny, you look from the tar road, there's not a name on here. So and some of them, I was just going through some of them. This stone's 1893. Thomas Titcomb, 1893. He's only 43 years old. And his wife, oh, and he was a mason too. And his wife, she was 74 years old, died in 1934. There's a few other ones. We got in 1915. This one was 82 years old. This person was 35. Helen M. 18 years old. Who was that? Prince Campbell. Just a kid, 18 years old, didn't make it. That one's only 8 years old. Yep. Frankie didn't make it. Yeah, I just figured to stop and show this. I always thought it was pretty cool. How many people drive down this freaking tar road at freaking 45 or better and don't even realize that this place is got no names on it. Alright, I thought that was pretty cool. Show you that. Close the gate here. So the old road comes out right there. And went in actually right here above the cemetery right there. So that's why the names are on the other side. Yeah, we're here offloading some of my hay there. Yeah, some of them are a little moldy. I'm gonna see if I can take my chainsaw and kind of freshen up some of them. They ain't bad, definitely mulch hay. I definitely see why I only wanted $1 a piece, but that's fine. I think we can make do. So spent 20 bucks. Hopefully I can bring in 100. So that's $80 profit. So if they do sell, I might end up buying some good bales. I don't even care if it's mulch hay or anything. I want to buy some good hay, and I'll sell them for $10 a piece. These ones I'm only going to ask probably $5. And I bet people will buy that, no problem, for $5. Alright, that's it for today. Yeah, so today we're going to start doing my frame swap. I'm going to put this nice good frame in under that truck, but I'm going to switch all the running gear over. This one was an automatic and had a blown motor, so I'm going to take my standard and motor, put it into this, and front and rear end, because I already sold the front and rear end out of this one. So I just wanted to show you this frame they made the rod away. Every freaking spot they welded is all rusted, and this is a factory recall frame that they replaced probably about 3 years ago on the truck that I got this from. Now look at that, it's already all rusted. Every spot they welded, even here where it's double framed wall steel, where they tacked it from the inside, it's all rusted. All rusted. Wherever it heated up, it is like meant to rot away, and paint didn't stay on any spot they welded. So today we're going through with a wire brush on a drill and going over all these welds, and I got some old motor oil, used motor oil. We're going to slather on this frame to make it last. So I don't want this frame should be in that truck for the rest of the truck's life. Battery's dead. The fuck. Alright, well my battery's charging. I'm going to start lathering some oil on there. Should make it so it lasts a little bit longer, I'd hope. Yeah, it should be pretty good once you oil it down. It should be. Well, you always see the spot where your motor leaks or something. It always nice and fucking non-rusty. Yeah. Yeah, that's coming out nice. It's like fresh. Looks like it's freshly painted. All it is oil. Hopefully that'll soak in a little bit and it won't rust so bad. So I got the whole front done, even the A-arms and stuff. Them were all pretty rusty. And we're gonna do the whole entire thing. Sanded. Father came out and helped for a while. Kind of our trade. I'll help him do with firewood. He helped me do this. This is coming out nice. Look at that. Looks like a brand new freaking frame. So a lot better than seeing these rusty spots. Still got this back corner to do. And I'll do a once over, making sure I got everything. And that'll be done for today. Then we're gonna cut some ash trees for a tripod, because we're gonna use a tripod to pick my cab off and lower it back onto this frame. So we'll get that set up today, and that's all I have planned for this mission today. And then try to do something at the pumpkin stand this afternoon, this evening. Yeah, so this way we're going to put the tripod to do the whole swap. So I'm going to pull this frame out and put it over here on the other side of the dog box, and then we're going to go twitch out 3 ash trees to make a tripod. So we're going to try to get a couple of ash trees here. I want to use ash as my tripod poles. the farm stand today, we're gonna take this 2x6 here and cut it into pieces. And I'm gonna glue some of this white birch bark onto them, and that's what I'm gonna write all my pricing and labels on everything. Well, I changed my mind on gluing these. It's just gonna be too much of a pain in the ass to get it set flat. So we're just gonna screw them on. Wish I was thinking and spent more time at this summer. I should have made that freaking farm stand out of birch trees. Should have made that log style farm stand with birch trees. Would have been so much cooler than the fir, but I had to use up the fir, so that's no problem. It is what it is. But if I was thinking from the get-go, I probably would have made that out of birch trees and gone with a whole birch theme here. See how this comes out. I think this is going to be just fine with these screws. Hold it out. Yeah, just like that. And I take a black magic marker, write the price, an arrow, or with what it is, price with an arrow. I'll screw this to my post. Yeah, we got 9 done. So that ought to look pretty nice with all my pricing and everything written right on that white birch bark. That's all I really wanted to do for the farm stand tonight. That's all we're gonna do. Yeah, so today we're gonna try to set up a tripod. Me and my father here, we got 3 ash trees here that we drug out there yesterday. And I'm gonna see if we can't stand them up, and then I'm also gonna take the bed off the truck. And that's my plans for today. No, these 2 should be together, and that one should be. Yeah. Alright, we're going to try to stand up this tripod. There we go. We're good. Nice. Now we just reposition some of the legs here. Get up there with the ladder, probably wrap some chain around it a little more and a little better. I think that's it. Get that ladder. Yep. So close. We are on. Wiggle the front. Good. Yeah, so this morning we're gonna try painting a hay bale. I got these hay bales that kind of like rotten a little bit, where they were sitting on the ground once I bought the other day. So we got a can of orange spray paint. We're gonna see what it looks like spray painted. There, I painted 2 bales, so I think them look pretty cool. So give them an option. I'll probably ask double for them though. So spray paint ain't cheap nowadays. So yeah, so now we're gonna go work on a couple other things for the farm stand. We're gonna try to make some witches brooms and probably package up some more teas if we can. I'm gonna try making some witches brooms. I got some old stems here. I did goldenrod tea this year, and I stripped down the goldenrod, and I thought the ends of them looked pretty cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a whole bunch of them and tie them on the end of some of these birch poles to make it look like a broom. So I actually made a couple last night, and they actually come out pretty cool. I already put them down on the farm stand, but we're gonna make up another 4. Some way to use these old stems. That's funny, just using a byproduct. Some of these ends here. Best we can, doesn't have to be perfect. It's a decoration. People are going to be probably throwing it away here. Just the day after freaking Halloween, probably. They look pretty cool when I'm done. So yeah, I think that looks pretty funny. Definitely looks like a little broom. Not perfect. Probably would sweep, but I probably wouldn't sweep with it. It's just gonna fall apart. And there's 2 down. 2 more to go. Yeah, I still have all this goldenrod stripped down. If I want to make more of them witches brooms. So here's my big tea factory going on up here. We got goldenrod tea in that box, pine needle tea, which we're gonna work on right now, raspberry leaf tea in there, mullein there, chaga's right here that we gotta grind some more. Got a little hand grinder here, we gotta grind up some of that. My scales, this is what I got done yesterday. Raspberry leaf tea, fit 1/4 of an ounce in there. Same with goldenrod tea. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, so today we're going to use some scissors and try to chop up some of this pine needle. I was going to leave it whole, but it ain't going to work whole. I'm trying to put that in a tea steeper. I got 2 tea steepers I'm trying to sell too, so I think I'm going to try chopping some of that up. I think I'll go around and cut it. Look at that. Needle. Alright, so now we're working on a sign. I ended up cutting this out. This came out pretty cool. Just an old beaver board. An old board I used to dry beaver pelts on. It's kind of getting worn out, older. And it came out pretty good. I got some little ribs here. Makes it look just like a pumpkin. So we're going to use this as a template to cut out the next one. That came out pretty good. That came out a lot better than I thought it was going to. Alright, now we're going to paint these things orange. I forgot we had one of these. Way easier on the hand than one of these things. I think them look pretty cool. Kind of look like a pumpkin. Well, we got the bumper off the truck, rear bumper. Me and my father did that. Now I'm about to use the tripod and try to get the front bumper off. That thing's gonna weigh a lot. It's a pretty rugged bumper. All right, well, we just about got the bumper off. It's gonna take 2 more bolts off, and it should come right off. But I'm actually gonna do that first thing in the morning. I got some better straps at home, some lift straps we can put on the bumper. Yeah, so today we're finally going to start shooting my bow. I've been meaning to do this for the last freaking couple months and just so busy, do so many other things, kind of been putting this off. But here we are. We got a couple of hay bales. I'm going to spray just an orange dot on the hay bale. Doesn't have to be anything fancy for a freaking target. Just got to have something to shoot at, and I'll practice at 10 yards mainly, and I'll try a few shots at 20 yards, but I mainly go for 10-yard shots. So today we'll at least take a couple shots, and then we'll go do my day. I got to work at the pumpkin shack. Got to try to work on my cab some more. We're gonna try to get it all ready to pull off tomorrow. So busy. This will work just fine. Give me a dot. If I can hit within that, I'm happy. I'm actually gonna do another 15 paces, which is 20 yards. All right. See how I do. First shot of the season. Way off. Yep, bullseye. Second shot. Should have been the first shot, but I freaking flinched. So let's walk up here and check that out. Yep, definitely a bullseye. And one low, which still would have been okay. So. No, we're going to take a couple more shots. Yeah, both of them were within the orange. Yeah, that would have been a dead deer. That's good enough. Alright, so we'll practice once every day for the next 2 weeks. So hopefully that'll be enough to successfully hit a deer. So today we're going to finish up working on my tees. I'm trying to sell teas at the farm stand. Today we're working on chaga. It's a mushroom that grows on birch trees. I collect and sell this. Actually been selling this for many years now. But it's just these little broken all up into pieces. I'm going to do some like that. And I also got some ground. This stuff's all nice and ground. Yes, we're gonna fill out at least a half dozen chunk ones, and then we'll do a half dozen ground chaga tea chunks. There. Actually doesn't look bad at all. So now we got all my teas are done. Alright, we're working on my signs today, and I think they're coming out pretty cool. I put a couple of legs on them, and we're stick them down in hay bales is how we're going to put up the signs. And we even got some arrows to kind of direct people. Yeah, so there's a lady at the end of the road that sells flowers. So last time I set up a self-serve stand at the end of the road, they all went to her thinking it was her. When no, it ain't her, it's me. So we got all these arrows, so hopefully they can see that. They probably still won't, but whatever. I think it's going to come out freaking awesome. So make sure to stay tuned in next week to see how it opens up, because tomorrow will be almost all set up by the end of tomorrow, but that's next week's vlog. The best part of all this, I don't have to do this next year. If I sell pumpkins just like this next year, all these signs will already all be made. I'll take them down this year and I'll put them away. And next year it'll be so much easier just to bring product down there and set her up. So now we're going to take off my bumper and maybe try taking a couple of cab mount bolts out today. A little late on the recording, but it just slid right off, no problem. So nice. I was just gonna like test to see how easy it was gonna come off, and I was gonna start recording. It came right off. So you get to see that step. Right, now we're trying to trace out pumpkins for sale. We've already got most of it. Actually, we're doing cheap pumpkins for sale. So we got cheap up here, pumpkins for sales, what I'm working on right now, and we'll do 1 mile. And what I've been using is a yardstick, and I mark it all out, trace it all out. Ain't bad when you start tracing something out, so it's pretty good. Go wider. Yeah, so I just come over here to the veggie garden, grab some cherry tomatoes and cucumbers, and see my bees are getting robbed. My neighbor's hive must be coming up here trying to get honey. There's all kinds of battles going on. You see them fighting with each other. So we're going to throw on the bees soon. Yeah, so we're going to plug up them holes, make it so the bees only have to protect 1 hole versus 3 holes. There's a battle going on right there. Bees going at it. Oh, they made it to the ground. Yeah, so I'm just going to grab some grass, stuff it in their hole the best I can. Not pissing them off too bad. Hey, girls, out. Yeah, hopefully that helps. If it was a lot more bees around it, I'd put a sheet over it. I've never had to do that yet, but I've always seen about it, that if you're getting robbed too bad, just cover it up with a sheet. Leave it be for a while, and finally all the robber bees will find their way back out and get the hell out of there. Yeah, so the ones trying to get in the gap here are definitely robber bees. Them ain't bees from my hive if they're trying to get in through there to steal honey. That's what they're doing too. They're trying to steal honey in through the gap there, and they can't. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Tomorrow we'll come over here and double check this. Well, we decided to start painting the sign today. I was going to start tomorrow, but I'm going to start today. We already got cheap written in there. Pick that up before I spill it. Yeah, we got cheap written on there. Now we're about to do pumpkins. This is kind of tedious, but at least I only have to do this year. Next year this stuff will all be made. Alright, well that's it for this week, so thanks for tuning in, and make sure to stay tuned in next week for more adventures with the Beaver Retriever.